Hello, fellow book lovers and bookworms. I'm Ellie. As you might have seen in the title of this video, I'll be doing a book review on The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot and comparing it to its movie adaptation with the same title. So basically, a two-in-one review. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. If you haven't read the book, you won't miss much. Proceed. Right off the bat, I'm going to say that this will not be my typical book review. I usually give a summary of the book and my thoughts and reactions to parts that I found interesting or integral to the story. Go check out my website for more content. Link on the description below. I prefer the movie adaptation to the book itself, thus, there will be a lot of comparisons between how the story was portrayed and interpreted in the film versus how it was originally written in the book. Alrighty, now let's get into it. The Princess Diaries book was published on May 30, 2000 by Meg Cabot and was turned into film which was produced by Walt Disney Pictures the following year. Through a quick Google research, the book's target audience are for young adults, which makes sense as when I'm currently reading it now in my late 20s, I find the book too childish compared to the elegant adaptation of the movie. The book series, referencing from the author's website, megapple.com, had already published its last volume, Volume 10, Princess Forever, in January 6, 2009. So I hope there's a good chance we'll be getting the Princess Diaries Part 3. Fingers crossed. I was 9 years old when I saw the movie The Princess Diaries in Disney Channel, starring Anne Hathaway who played Amelia Mignonette, Grimaldi Thermophilus Rinaldi, Rinaldo in the books, but Rinaldi sounds more French and suave to me, or Mia Thermophilus as a lead character, and Julia Andrews as Clarice Marie Grimaldi Rinaldi, Queen of Genovia. She's only considered as a princess dowager in the books. Is there any difference? Google was not helpful. The first thing I noticed is the style of how Mia was depicted quite differently from the way she writes in her diary. In the movie, much like in the book, the tale was played out in the first-person perspective, meaning we see and experience what Mia writes in her diary. Though in the film, there's a mature feeling to it, a deeper sense of awareness, and more substance to the lead character, as maybe Disney is targeting not only young adults. I remembered my mom, aged 50 around that time, liking it too. In the pages, again, maybe because I'm old, I find it too immature. But the tone does fit the image of a 14-year-old with the older version Mia in the movie. You know the pattern where a majority of Disney princesses have only one or no parent at all to make the audience or readers more sympathetic towards the princess? If you didn't know, now you know. That was not actually the case with Book Mia. Mia's princely father, Arthur Christoph Philip Gerald Grimaldi Rinaldi, heir to the throne, is well alive, bald and testicular cancer-free. I think it was a good idea to kill off, sorry for the blunt words, Mia's father to add more emotion and mystery to the story. I find Book Philip to be arrogant, flighty, has many girlfriends, and privileged. He is a strong contrast to the silent, loving presence in the movie Philip. And I actually don't like the idea that Book Philip was the one who spilled the beans to Mia in a very calloused way. Shut up! To the astonished Queen Clarice was iconic, comical, and one of the most unforgettable lines throughout the movie. What disappointed me more was that the revelation took place in an impersonal high-end hotel, Palm Court, and not the private, semi-palace-like mansion with a different language "Get off the grass!" yelled at you in a full-volume speaker in the film. Book Mia's reaction to the big secret feels a bit too selfish, vain, petty, and dragged out. I get that she has insecurities as most teens do, but the simple "I'm still waiting for normal body parts to arrive" in the movies will have sufficed and brought out the clumsy but charming sauciness out of Mia's character. I also prefer of how Disney has chosen Queen Clarice to handle Mia's rejection of accepting the fact that she was a princess, as well as how she helped Mia prepare herself to the new role. Who could forget the funny princess lessons on how to wave properly, the funny faces behind the fan, the correct way of sitting to falling down to the ground, tuck one ankle behind the other? the changing from sock to pantyhose in the car, Anima's scarf restrainer, and knock the wind out of your dance partner dance move. In the book, it was written in the most boring way, and it annoys me of how Philip and Helen Thermophilus, Mia's mother, kept on bugging Mia to talk even it's obvious she wanted time for herself to swallow the truth. Speaking of Helen, I'll be biased again and would rather prefer movie Helen. She's more human and compassionate towards Mia's princesshood journey. As for book Philip, he tells Mia to treat everything as a job and offered her a sum of money, $100 a day, which will be donated to Greenpeace as a compromise so that Mia will agree in becoming a princess, proving my view of him as a less lovable character. I still remember the sweet moments Mia spent with her prim grandmother, Grandmere in the books, around San Francisco as part of their bargain. Didn't we laugh hard when Queen Clarice arm wrestled in an arcade? Felt a bit skeptical that she wouldn't throw up when Mia introduced corn dog to her for the first time. And finally, weren't we impressed by how quick-witted the Queen is in weaseling out of trouble when they got into a car accident? Ah, good times. While in the book, the Queen was not described as someone classy, smart, and even approachable. Book Grandma is difficult and a diva queen. Imagine her with tattooed eyelids, a heavy smoker. Mia jokingly speculated it was due to smoke suffocation that her grandpa died, called Mia Paulette, means hooker, and have a lot of prejudices. One example is when Mia recalled a dinner party where one woman wasn't served foie gras because she had a baby out of wedlock. Some of the characters that I also like more in the movies are Lily Moscovitz, Michael Moscovitz, Paula the stylist, and Joe or Lars in the book. Book Lily Moscovitz took a long time to make up with Mia after the latter wasn't able to come and give support to her TV show. Lily tells it like it is. So their friendship wasn't much as endearing compared to the film. I mean, if you can say true friendship with a secret handshake with spitting involved, I don't know what would. Book Michael Moscovitz was no better. He was there but wasn't. I don't know how to describe his presence in Mia's life in the book. He tutored Mia with algebra as she was flunking it. He's a computer club treasurer, a secret guitar genius, but I think he still lacks substance. Movie Michael, he's a pianist, vocalist, mechanic, and had an addiction to M&Ms, built his character really well. He was a constant, loyal, and supported knight who always had a knack of showing up when Mia needed help the most. You might ask me why I have chosen to write Paolo here when he only played a very minor role. For me, in the movie at least, he was the catalyst to Mia's new chapter in life as royalty. He was like her fairy godmother, with an outlandish personality. You have thick hair, like a wolf. Still cracks me up when I see the memes. Book Paolo was kept to a very minimal description, and Mia's epic transformation was not epic at all, borderline uneventful. Finally, Joe, or Book Lars, described as a typical gun-toting, macho bodyguard with no essence at all. I think Joe, although also considered as a minor role, played an important part in the whole movie. He was a father figure in Mia's life, an avid shoulder to lean on for Queen Clarice, and an all-around dependable guy. He was a patient dance partner of Mia. I wonder how many times he was either stepped on or got wind knocked out of him. And he was one of the few true believers of Mia, and he persistently looked for her at rainy Genovian Independence Day ball. Just a side note, I want to mention a character I like in the book that wasn't in the movie. Her name is Tina Hakim Bata. She was deemed to be weird as she has a bodyguard hanging around her all the time in school, and when Mia and Lily wasn't talking to each other, it was she who Mia shared a table with during lunchtimes. They became friends, and when Mia was forced to have Lars to guard her in school, their friendship even grew stronger, as they both feel the disadvantages of being born with a silver spoon in your mouth. It was actually on Tina's behalf that Mia shoved an ice cream cone to Lana Wingbergel's cheerleader's outfit, not Jeremy's. It was because of her, Mia was able to open the door of self-actualization. Speaking of Lana and Josh Bryant, Josh Richer in the book, I also like the movie counterparts too. although they were shown as a stereotypical ditzy cheerleader and jock. To end this post, I just want to share what really let me down most. That Book Mia had already been to Genovia several times during the holidays. It took the grand surprise moment. And not once did she ever go to any balls. She never danced and had that fairy tale moment with Michael. They did dance in a lousy school dance, but was not at par in the movies. And most importantly, Mia did have that difficult decision in accepting or renouncing the throne. I'm not sure if this will happen in the rest of the Princess Diaries series, but I'm sure I won't be reading the next 9 books. Have you read the book or watched the movies? Which did you prefer? Comment down below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you like more videos like this. See you next time!